What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode of Coach Steve's Helpful Tips. If you've been tuning in, these are just quick 10-minute episodes here, kind of away from our normal podcast schedule here to kind of help just get some useful tips, some quick hitting advice for those who maybe don't have time to listen to an hour-long podcast. I'm trying to help you guys do the best I can with very little time. So, as I've been doing, I've been going through the whole cycle or the whole Dynasty fantasy football concepts and what Dynasty is and how to handle a startup. And now I kind of want to get into the life cycle of Dynasty. And of course, I had to have my PowerPoint. Of course, guys, it's almost like I'm back in school again. I love it. But basically, just going through. There's about I would say about 5 or 6 different stages of Dynasty to go through to kind of really get the whole feel of what Dynasty fantasy football is all about. Of course, I created my life graph here. And basically, there are 5 stages. I said 6, but 5 stages. The first stage is the pre-regular season, just basically right before the regular season, something where we're getting really close to. The second one is mid-season, during the fantasy football season. Then we have postseason, obviously easy enough to say, right after the regular season, pre-draft, and during the rookie drafts. Kind of the cycle of how rookie picks are handled and valued and how veteran players are valued and whatnot. So going into my first part of this, I call it stage 1, the start of the regular season. And at this point, we're getting there. We're getting close to the regular season. It's the middle summer right now. And we have to really understand how your picks are valued and how your players are valued. Right now, for the most part, there's very few people who don't believe they can win their championships. But a lot of people are saying, this is my year. I can do this. My team's built enough. We can win this. So right now, rookie picks are starting to really just dimmer down. And no one is, and it's still pretty high. And it really depends on the draft class and the hype they're getting. The 23 draft class is getting a lot of hype right now. So they're still pretty valuable, but they're on the decline right now. Rookie picks on the decline, especially next year and the year after that. People aren't thinking about their rookie picks. They're thinking about getting off to a hot start for the season. And for those who maybe are rebuilding still, this is part 1 of the time to go out there and really start collecting rookie picks and getting players off your team that are older and you don't want. And that's where veterans come in. They're starting to get hotter, and not say they're super hot yet, because there's one stage before that or after that we're going to talk about in a few seconds. But people have their predictions. They're like, either they're really confident in a player and they're not so confident. So it's really hard to gauge the best trades for the value that you want for a veteran player. Sometimes, like a guy like Derrick Henry right now, it's hard to judge his value because he's coming off a major injury, but he's got tremendous upside. He's older though. So trading him before the start of the regular season is kind of hard. So you have to really value your players. And if you want to take that shot and wait to get the maximum value on the next stage, or take what value is given to you now. So it's kind of in limbo. This part of the dynasty season, it's really tough to predict because you're taking shots on players at the moment based on the hype they're getting throughout this entire offseason here now. Again, players' values are raising in terms of trade values, while rookie draft picks are declining now at this point here because we've passed the rookie drafts and all that kind of stuff and the hype the rookies had for their mini camps. Going over to stage 2 now, guys. This is during the season. You're in your fantasy season here. You're either winning or losing. And this is pretty much where rookie picks are probably at an all-time low, especially mid-season. And if you know that you're kind of out of it, this is the time to go and collect those rookie picks. Those 2023 first don't sound appealing when you can get a guy like Keenan Allen on your team, probably for that. And that owner really wants Keenan Allen after he's having a really great season. Hopefully, their 2023 first, 2024 first don't really show that value because people are trying at this point now to win the championship. So if you're looking to rebuild, this is the time personally to go out there and get the best value for the most return on rookie picks if you're trying to rebuild through the rookie drafts. I had many times where both sides where I've traded away first-round picks to get veteran players to help me win, and I've traded away veteran players to get rookie picks to start my season off for next year. Like I said, this is where the rookie picks are at all-time low. Veterans at this point are all-time high. You're trading the veteran for probably their maximum value at this point here because, again, like guys like Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, probably wouldn't trade Jonathan Taylor, but other guys that are older veteran guys, their peaks, they're having great seasons. So whatever they're doing, people want those on their team to make that push there. Postseason, this is where things kind of quiet down a little bit, of course, because obviously the season's over. It's just playoffs now. No one's really thinking about fantasy at this point. You've either won or you lost. You're upset with yourself that you didn't win, or you're thrilled that you won. And you're excited and excited, very, very excited. So in terms of rookie picks, the rookie picks at this point start gaining momentum because now we're all shifting to the rookie draft. But it's not there yet because, we're still waiting for some college stuff, see who's coming in, who's coming out. These seniors and juniors are trying to make their decision of whether or not they want to leave the college level and head to the NFL. So it really will depend at that point if these 2023 rookie picks or whatever rookie picks are going to be that valuable as we all think they're going to be. Veteran players are kind of in the middle range. They're not too hot, not too cold, but you might be able to sell off guys right at the end of the season who went off and kind of went nuts. That's the time to go out, like a guy who at the end of last year, I'm trying to remember, like Cordell Patterson at the end of last year. Well, he didn't really do this great, but guys who kind of went off at the end of the season who, that next year, they're not going to be they're not going to have that same level of fantasy value because whether they're older or whether their situation is likely to change, it's time to sell off now, get what you can get out of them because people are still thinking about the regular season, even though we're done with the actual regular season at this point here now. This is also a time where people may be inactive or leave the league, and you might get a fun new mix of owners who want to trade, makes it fun excitement. You definitely want to be somewhat active and keep your eyes open because you can miss out on a really good opportunity because sometimes when people go too inactive, they could end up getting their team lost or people might have just quit. And any time a new owner comes in, they have a different mindset on how their roster should look, and they're trying to make moves. So you want to be active when a new owner comes in because you could end up getting a bargain for what you're looking for your fantasy team overall. All right, pre-rookie drafts. This is where things start getting interesting once again. Rookies are in full swing. We're talking about them going through the combine. They're getting hyped out as can be here, but we don't know exactly. And I should have said pre-NFL draft rookie drafts here. This is right before the NFL draft. I meant to say here where we don't know what team they're going to get, but the talent level is where everyone's looking at their films, their analysis, their numbers, everything like that. And that's another way when it comes to rookie picks that you can get the best value because someone might really value those top tier picks and might pay up for that pre-draft because they know that they're going to get a great player. They think they're going to get a great talent out of that draft there. Veteran players might be on a little bit of a lower end at that point here, where you could probably snag somebody who, you need for a competing roster, or you're looking for a young guy who, no one's worrying about last year's draft class at this point. If you didn't go off, you might be able to get yourself like a Rondell Moore or Rashad Bateman at the time because those guys didn't really exceed the expectation of where they were drafted. So you may be get them on low, trade away your rookie picks from this past year and really steal that value for your fantasy season here. It's a lot of good times to get great deals on players. And of course, but not least, the rookie draft itself. During the rookie draft, right before the rookie draft, post NFL draft, of course, this is where veteran rookie picks are at an all-time high for me personally, because everyone wants the hype of the new, young, fresh rookie players. Again, it depends on the draft class. Obviously, this draft class was a heavy wide receiver and one or two running backs at the top. QBs were kind of devalued. Next year, it might not be like we saw that 2 years ago. The rookie quarterbacks were the talk of the class, and it just depends. And now this is where if you're trying to acquire rookie picks, you're going to have to pay up more than likely for a lot of them because people want them as well. And this is a time for, I would say, probably for teams that knowing that they're going to compete is to go and get those veteran players from people's teams because people realize their team maybe not be the same team they had 3 months ago because of the rookie drafts, because of free agency. The players they thought were really good for their team, help them build long-term, isn't at that same level, but they might have a good 2020, good current season possibly in them where you as a contender could end up getting really great value out of them and so forth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I really try to keep it to 10 minutes for sure here. And I really hope you guys have been enjoying these little short 10-minute segments here. I've been enjoying them. I love talking about Dynasty fantasy football and honestly any kind of fantasy football in general. So as always, please go check out the Fantasy Coaches website at www.thefantasycoaches.com. We have all these articles. We have all of our podcasts, the Dynasty Coaches, the Fantasy Coaches, my podcast. Hopefully we'll have another one soon. We have a whole page of analytics on there with great statistical numbers and everything in between. I really would love you to check that out. I put a lot of great work into that. And as always, you want to hit us up on Twitter at Coaches Fantasy for any of your fantasy advice. We're here for you guys. So tune in until next time, guys. Thanks for listening and have a great one.